welcoming our 2017 graduates. Before we get caught up in all the serious stuff, I want to have us take a moment to celebrate this with those who aren't here. So if you've got a phone, take it out and take a picture, and then share it on social media using the hashtag Manchester Graduation. You can take a selfie, a picture of the audience, send out a status update. While you're all doing that, I'm going to take a picture to send out later on Twitter. Awesome. And John, if during your speech it looks like I'm on my phone texting, I'm not. I'm sending a tweet. So, okay. This commencement ceremony completes the 128th academic year at Manchester University. I'm delighted to welcome parents, siblings, grandparents, aunts and uncles, cousins and friends. And especially, I welcome you, our graduates. Today represents an important achievement in your life. In becoming college graduates, you have fulfilled a goal that many in the world only dream of. We are enormously proud of you, and we celebrate what you've accomplished. Our graduates today know that their successes did not come just from their own efforts. They relied on parents and families and friends for financial help, encouragement, care packages, attendance at things like concerts and recitals, plays, athletic competitions, and they enjoyed warm welcomes at home when they were able to get home. I invite the parents, family members, and friends who supported these graduates to stand so that your students and their faculty can say thank you. Please stand if you are a family member, extended family member. We know how much you have given, how much you have supported, and we are deeply grateful for that. Our campus pastor, Becca Hauff, will now offer our invocation.
Let us pray. Spirit of life, we come together today to celebrate and reflect, to look back over our students' time of study at Manchester University and celebrate the accomplishments that brought them to this place, this moment of time in their lives when they accept a degree and walk forward into a future with hope. We give thanks for the many people who join us in presence, in heart, and in mind today, reflecting on the community that helped to support our students during their study. We remember family and friends, professors and university staff, classmates and coworkers who helped make today possible through their encouragement, education, financial support, prayers, and sacrifices. We also remember those in our community who we wish were here. Missing from our processional today was Tony Lara, a computer science major from Crown Point, Indiana, who left this earth so suddenly 17 months ago. Tony loved soccer and his family and his friends at Manchester, and we join our graduates in remembering their classmate and feeling his spirit here today. Let us pause for a moment of silence to remember Tony. Bless these students. Bless them with peace and hope, joy and success. Guide their footsteps into their next journey. Fill them with courage and stamina to accept new challenges and step confidently into the next chapter of their story. We pray these things with gratitude. Amen.
Our custom is to celebrate commencement with the presentation of honorary degrees to individuals who embody the mission of Manchester University. Today we recognize John Prendergast. I invite John to join me and Raylene Rospon to come forward and present John with his honorary degree.
Our conscience can be an unwelcome companion. It calls us to see the world's injustice. It calls us to reject that well-worn path of least resistance. Our conscience calls us to do what is not what is easy, but what is right. Our conscience encourages us to be our best selves. For many people, John Prendergast has been their conscience. As a young man in 1984, John saw images of the Ethiopian famine on television. Rather than ignore it, he flew to Africa. I wanted to know, he has said, what I as a citizen and what America as a country could do to keep more people from that depth of agony. That journey launched John's career as a human rights activist and author. He has devoted his entire life to Africa, the victims of its genocide, its famine, and its wars. He has sacrificed his own comfort and at times risked his own life to shine a light on evil and forge a new path of hope. John Prendergast is a person of ability and conviction who appeals to our better angels. He understands that our diverse beliefs call us to make the world a kinder and better place, to establish justice, to build peace amid strife, and to model lives of love. For reflecting these values of this university, Manchester awards him the degree, Doctor of Humane Letters. President McFadden, I have the privilege of presenting John Prendergast for an honorary degree.
John, upon this recommendation and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, and with an affirming vote of the faculty and the board, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. We recognize you for the moral and physical courage that gives voice to justice and sows the seeds of peace. In striving to be your best self, you call others to be their best selves too. We ask that you accept this degree, knowing that it comes with our deepest respect. As a symbol of this award, we acknowledge your contributions with a hood and grant you the diploma, Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. Please join me in welcoming our newest graduate, John Prendergast, 2017 Manchester University alum, as our commencement speaker.
Thanks, President McFadden. That was a heck of a lot easier than going for 4 years and getting the degree, but I'll take it. Wow, is this really happening? Are you really graduating today? Are you sure that you passed that statistics class? What if all this is a dream? What if you're going to wake up at the end of this speech and you're actually still a freshman, living not in a double, but in a specially designed triple in Garver Hall, and you have to run to that statistics exam in 5 minutes because remember, you failed it last semester and you forgot to eat, and you are having an epically bad hair day, I speak from experience, and you have to climb that tree near Garver to get your shoes that you threw into the tree because you thought you were graduating. Go ahead, pinch yourself all you want. It won't work. You got to listen to this whole speech first. Just do not snore. I'm personally curious about what each of you are going to miss most about Manchester. Will you miss mud volleyball? Which, when I learned about what this was, I immediately thought of the amoeba that evolved out of the mud to eventually become human. And now Manchester students are attempting to somehow reverse the entire evolutionary process. It's very frightening. Will you miss air band? Any student who escaped that unique Manchester tradition will be brought up on stage after the ceremony to play air guitar and lip sync to their choice of a Lady Gaga or Justin Bieber song. This will constitute the final indignity of your college experience, thank you. Will you miss the trike race? Anyone with under a 3.7 GPA, I am told, will be eating chocolate pudding out of diapers before the day is over. President McFadden didn't want to break the news to you. Listen, I don't make this stuff up. It's a Manchester thing you wouldn't understand. Will you miss beating Anderson University in the HCAC hoops tournament? I love that you got them this year. Or will you miss the late night coffee runs to Wilbur's? Heck, I still do those runs, but I wonder if I can get some college credit for that too. So you think you're leaving all this behind, do you? Not so fast. As we speak, the Alumni Fundraising Office is preparing your very first donation letter. And they will literally hound you for the rest of your life. And then it's not over. When you die, they will negotiate with your heirs to fund the Dave McFadden Honorary Student Center. So the point here is that Manchester is going to be in your blood forever. The Inn, Pub, and Grill will make sure of that. Earmuffs, parents. From my various stints in African war zones, I have malaria in my blood forever. You have Manchester. And I can honestly say that as a fellow Hoosier and as someone who has the privilege to travel all over the United States to universities and colleges, having this particular university in your bloodstream is a very good thing. Consistent with the vision and the values at the core of Manchester, you graduates have made an obvious commitment to community service and to the dignity of all human beings. Social change is in the water here in this campus. And in case any of you parents didn't know that, the refund window is closing right now. Watch your fingers, Dad. But what I see happening here, what you all did while you were in Manchester, is nothing short of extraordinary. Apparently, students contributed 60,000 hours of community service this year alone. That is utterly incredible. Manchester students participated in events such as community dinners, where you served meals to community members in need, Indiana Reading Corps and Partners in Learning, where you tutored younger kids in elementary and high school, Blessings for a Backpack, where you packed backpacks full of canned goods for those in need, Habitat for Humanity, all of us have heard of, where you help build homes for disadvantaged folks, Death Row Support Project, where you wrote letters to forgotten people on death row, which is a bit near to my heart because my wife, Sue, who's here today, is a lawyer who provides pro bono representation to people on death row in the Deep South, including, some of you know this name, Anthony Ray Hinton, who visited Manchester University in December after being exonerated after being on death row for 30 years in Alabama. The list goes on. Red Cross blood drives, volunteering in support of people with disabilities, visiting folks at retirement homes, helping at the food bank and food drives, cleaning up Eel River, supporting the low-income health clinic. It just doesn't end. What is going on here? It's like one big audition for the greatest United Way commercial ever. To me, it's really impressive, and it's really darn cool that so many of you gave so much to others who just needed a helping hand. Manchester, it seems to me, is a place where women and men are prepared to go forth and live righteous lives and stand up for the rights and dignity of their fellow human beings. Standing up is so key in this life. My best friend Samantha Power calls it being an upstander. You are going to have so many opportunities in the years ahead to be an upstander rather than a bystander, to be someone who takes the road less traveled, that takes the chance, that dives in the deep end, that goes for the cake and the icing, that trusts yourself and believes anything is possible and finally just goes for it. And when you live like this, incredible things can happen. Let me tell you how this has played out in my life. As the Vice President said, I couldn't have imagined that when I saw pictures of this famine halfway around the world in Ethiopia, and I was 21 years old, and I scraped all my money together, literally every last penny, and bought a one-way ticket to Africa. I couldn't have imagined that 15 years later, I would be flying around Africa on Air Force One as an advisor to the President of the United States. I couldn't have imagined that when I was 20, and I met a 6-year-old kid named Michael. He was living with his family, he was living out of plastic bags in a homeless shelter in D.C. That I would become that little boy's big brother in the Big Brother and Big Sister program. And I couldn't have imagined that 30 years later, today, Michael and his wife are the proud parents of 6 of their own children. The first one just enrolled in college. And that there isn't a week that goes by that Michael doesn't tell me he is where he is because he had someone in his life who simply cared about what he was going through when he was a kid. I couldn't have imagined that when I got my first stipended internship in Washington, D.C. at the age of 24, paid $8,000 a year, and I had to live in a condemned building because I couldn't afford rent. I couldn't have imagined that 20 years later, I'd be traveling around northern Uganda with my favorite actor, Ryan Gosling, collecting the personal stories of former child soldiers and then traveling with him to the United Nations and Congress to demand action in support of those children. I couldn't have imagined when I was in my early 20s and no one would hire me because I had no experience, because no one would hire me. You know the drill. That less than 15 years later, I would be sitting elbow to elbow with President Nelson Mandela of South Africa, working with him on a peace process that successfully brought an end to a war in Central Africa. I couldn't have imagined that when I was sitting in my moldy, cramped basement office in my first real job in Washington, D.C. in the late 1980s, that a decade and a half later, I would be accompanying Nobel Peace Prize winner Elie Wiesel, survivor of the Holocaust, and George Clooney, survivor of Batman 3, to the United Nations Security Council and talking about Africa. I couldn't have imagined that one sunny afternoon in 1991, I was walking out of a building in Washington, D.C., and I offered a ride to a guy who was at the meeting with me, who I didn't really know, but we were heading in the same direction. That I couldn't have imagined that today, 30 years later, that fellow is now one of my best friends. He's sitting right here in this audience, former Manchester Peace Studies professor Tim McElwee. Treasure the friendships you've made here, graduates, and hold them close to your heart for a lifetime. I couldn't have imagined that a decade ago, when the 2 top publishing companies in the United States both said the book Don Cheadle, the actor from the great film Hotel Rwanda, and almost as great Iron Man 2, this book Don Cheadle and I wanted to write about Africa, they said was unmarketable. I couldn't have imagined we would just go ahead and write it anyway, and it would climb all the way to number 3 on the New York Times bestseller list. Copies available on Amazon.com. Thank you. I couldn't have imagined that when I was exactly your age, and I wasn't speaking to my father, that many, many years later, as we reconciled, and as he was losing his battle with cancer, I finally came to realize this giant of a man who I had rebelled against all my life had given me so many of the gifts and the tools that had made me successful in life. Not a day goes by that I don't ache for my father to still be here with me. Honor your father and mother, graduates, while you still have each other. I hope all of you see my point by now. I have definitely done enough name dropping to make it, for gosh sakes. Here is the point. Be an upstander for the things that you believe in. And while you're being an upstander, dream big, because those dreams could come true. When I started to believe in myself and my path, my dreams started becoming reality. It wasn't the other way around. You must believe in who you are and what you stand for as a human being. Because life is going to hit, and it's going to hit hard. There have been points in my own life where things genuinely looked bleak, even hopeless. Without a belief in who I am, what I stand for, and without my faith in God, I would not be standing here today. Redemption is always one chance away, right around the next corner, if you have the courage and the faith and the heart to keep trying and keep believing and keep pursuing your dreams. They don't always work. If you look up wacky in certain dictionaries, you're going to find a picture of me. And I can tell you, every time that I've taken a chance, ventured a risk, or chased a dream, I've gotten a little stronger, a little wiser, a little richer in spirit. And now, like the Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz, I've got another honorary doctorate to prove it. But being an upstander is about more than just realizing your dreams. It's also fundamentally about making the world a better place. We cannot turn away from our role in the world and our role in our own neighborhood. When you leave this cocoon today, warm and fuzzy as it is, I urge you to join the organizations that address the issues that you care about and be part of the change in the world that you want to promote. In the darkest moments, be the one who lights the candle. And graduates, plant your oak tree in a place that matters. Over the last century, it has been people's movements that have changed the course of human history. The civil rights movement, the women's movement, the environmental movement, the labor movement, the peace movement, the list goes on. And here's what that means for you, today's graduates. If the world your future children will inherit will not be engulfed by environmental destruction, violent wars, preventable diseases, terrorist attacks, racial and religious discrimination, human rights abuses, and other scourges of our age, it will only be because you organized, you led, you believed in yourself, you didn't sleep through the revolution, you were an upstander, and you made darn sure that your precious and your hard-earned degree from Manchester University was a beacon that lit a path and lit a light for all those seeking a better world. So congratulations, class of 2017, you beacon. Stand up and go forth like the Spartans you are.
Thank you, John. Today, some of our graduates have made a distinctive commitment, a first step along that course that you described, by taking a pledge of social and environmental responsibility. The graduation pledge that they signed says this: I pledge to explore and take into account the social and environmental consequences of any job I consider, and will try to improve these aspects of any organizations for which I work. Those who have taken this pledge wear green ribbons to reflect their commitment. At Manchester, we seek to graduate persons of ability and conviction, and this is one tangible expression of that commitment.
It is my pleasure to begin by recognizing a student who completed the honors program here at Manchester University and will be receiving an honors diploma. April Mullen, would you please stand? April is wearing a gold medallion with gold and black ribbon today. The honors diploma is awarded to seniors who have maintained a grade point average of at least 3.5, completed 15 semester hours of honors coursework, and successfully completed an individualized honors project of no less than 3 additional semester hours. April is a psychology major. The title of her honors project is Political Affiliation as a Predictor of Response to Uncanny Valley Stimuli. Please join me in congratulating honors program graduate April Mullen. The very top students in each senior class are graduated with distinction. To graduate with distinction, a graduate must complete a minimum of 60 graded credit hours through Manchester University. Students graduating with honors wear gold cords draped around their neck. The ceremony today recognizes students who met the requirements for graduation with honors at the end of the 2017 January session. I ask all students graduating with distinction to please stand now. You may be seated. Students graduating summa cum laude have a GPA between 3.95 and 4.0. Those graduating magna cum laude achieve GPAs between 3.85 and 3.949. And those graduating cum laude have achieved a GPA of between 3.65 and 3.849. Now, will the graduates for the degree Bachelors of Arts please rise? President McFadden, these candidates have completed or will have completed by this fall all requirements for the degree Bachelors of Arts. I therefore recommend that Manchester University confer upon them this degree.
Upon this recommendation of the faculty, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the State of Indiana, I confer upon each of you the degree Bachelor of Arts, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto, and charge you to lead principled, productive, and compassionate lives that improve the human condition.
Those graduates who are receiving a Bachelor's of Arts, except those in the first row, may now be seated. The candidates for this degree will come to the platform by row. Please remain seated until an usher calls your row forward. Will the first row now approach the stage? Lucas A. Alzuki. Elena M. Beckner. Matthew Donald Bennett. Leslie Gibbs Bodor. Emily Denise Catton. Zachary R. Clark. Devin L. Conwell. Miriam Cruz. Jamie Lynn Dowdy. Madeline M. Eaton. Sarah Gustafson Farnham, summa cum laude. Tanner Jordan Forsyth. Emmett James Fortin. Sabri Tajaunik Freeman. Ingrid Carrido. Lorraine J. Graham. Chloe Brianne Hensley. Cody Milton Jones. Josh Ulysses Juarez.
Josh!
Mackenzie L. Kempton. Sierra Lene Kirchhoff. Cum laude. Ashton Renee Kreider. Cum laude. Abby Nicole Queeson. Emily Patricia Liston. Abigail Louise Lynn, cum laude. David Anthony Melendez. Cassandra Jo Metzger. Hallie Susanna Tamar Miller, summa cum laude. April M. Mullen, cum laude. Michaela Cynthia Nielsen, summa cum laude. Badlanle Adolfo Oladokan. Hannah Elizabeth Fenning. Genovia Ramirez. Cheyenne Renee Ramsey. Ruth Marie Ritchie Moore, cum laude. Tyler Andrew Roebuck. Colin Brooks Singer. Haley Marie Steinhilbert, cum laude. Larissa Elizabeth Valdez. Emily Wells. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science please rise? President McFadden, these candidates have completed or will have completed by this fall all requirements for the degree Bachelor of Science. I therefore recommend that Manchester University confer upon them this degree.
Upon this recommendation of the faculty, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the State of Indiana, I confer upon each of you the degree Bachelor of Science, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto, and charge you to lead principled, productive, and compassionate lives that improve the human condition.
Will all Bachelor of Science graduates, except those in the first row, please be seated. The candidates for this degree will come to the platform by row. Please remain seated until an usher calls your row forward. Will the first row of Bachelor of Science candidates please come forward?
Oh yeah, Bert.
Ashe Ator.
See you, Shay.
Vanan Ambadian. Marian Holaduane Adiama. Shireen Elizabeth Atoni. Tonino Arape. Brock Lewis Armstrong. Sarah Michelle Arney. Haley Joe Ash. Cameron Sosi Barrett. Sydney Nicole Bartz. Gabrielle Brienne Bassett. Holly Nicole Beer. Mary Kokeb Kebebao Belay. Lathena Precious Bonpise. Alexis Jennifer Bossier. Connor J. Breshnahan, magna cum laude. Julia Brewer. Blake James Brower. Adriana Elizabeth Brown. Dennis Wayne Brumfield, magna cum laude. Aaron J. Bullock. Samantha A. Burrows. Lauren Marie Byers. Lindsay Reagan Byers. Ryan Matthew Bile. Carrie L. Carpenter, cum laude. Chase Jeffrey Castile. Sydney Joe Chamberlain. Courtney Christine Chowning. Brian Michael Clark. Kevin Thomas Clark. Andrew Coe. Simon D. Coleman. Megan N. Conrad. John Patrick Cordial. Alexander Korn. Joseph Wayne Covington. Samuel Glenn Cox. Jordan Michael Crosby. Brenner David Cruz. Miles Tyler Curry. Thomas Zachary Dean, cum laude. Ashley R. De Leon. Heather M. Di Lorenzo, summa cum laude. Hannah Beth Dubner, cum laude. Cassandra M. Dibley. Heather J. Dorn. Grant Stephen Pierce Ebert. Paul Richard Igler. Ogachuku Ruthann Equalo. Haley M. Emery. Corey James Ferguson. Joe Allen Ferguson. Elliot Wayne Ford. Kevin William Fryermuth. Shafik Aaron Garcia. Lauren Elaine Gates. Michael Gazdick, magna cum laude. Jordanos Vishay Gabru. Garrett Allen Glucker. Marilyn Godinez. Caitlin S. Greer. Ashley K. Gruel. Jacob Nathaniel Hammer. Ashley Nicole Hammond. Tiffany Nicole Harbor, cum laude. Cody R. Harlan. Nicholas Ryan Haskins. Nathan Tanner Hawkins. Shelby Matraka Danielle Hawkins. Lauren E. Hedges. Daniel Cullen Hine. Matthew T. Hicks. Danielle M. Hicks. Michael J. Himley. Kenneth Charles Holford. Laura A. Hoover. Jacob T. Hopkins. Christopher Michael Hosier.
Yeah, Chris!
Lindsay A. Hostetler. Lauren Elizabeth Hughes. Jerome DeAndre Jackson.
Oh yeah, turn!
Mitchell Ryan Jenkins. Mariah Jazari Jordan. Matthew Robert Jordan. Olivia Kumlema. Austin Edward Kelly. Glynis Diana King. Jordan Alexander Kleber. Jessica Clem. Ashley Renee Krauser. Oluluwade Ladapo. Derek D. Lamley. Brianna Janae Leatherberry, cum laude. Braden Trey Lickleitner. Jennifer N. Lee. Mackenzie A. Lowry. Zachary Hunter Lucas, magna cum laude. Connor Lee Wayne McDonald. Tiana Gabriela McLean. Brandon Michael Madden. Raj Kishore Maglani, cum laude. Laura Elizabeth Mans. Ashley Elizabeth Martin. Stephen W. Masters. Carl Perry Matson. Aaron J. Maxison. Patrick J. Maynor, cum laude. Connor Justice McCoy. Nicole Marie McGuire. Elizabeth Ann McKinney. Paul James Mikesell. Blake N. Miller, cum laude. Chandler Edward Miller. Kyler A. Mills. Macy Ann Minier. Jarvis A. Mitchell. Alan Mock. Jeremy Todd Mosher. Brian Christopher Motley. Peter Myers.
Oh yeah, Peter.
Nancy Yorile Navarro Acuna. Renee Elizabeth Neer. Mason Michael Newman. Cynthia Plench Nyimite. James A. Papalia. Timothy Ross Perzo, cum laude. Carly Parker. Melanie Ann Pavoli. William D. Pigg. Heather Nicole Racine. Christopher Charles Ratterstrup. Holly B. Rawls. Landon T. Rare, cum laude. Shelby Elena Rare. Rebecca Hadia Suhi Rich. Tessa Holly Riley. Jacob A. Ritchie. Cassandra C. Root. Zach Robert Rudolph.
Yeah, Rudy.
James W. Sansbury. Jessica Sanchez. Anna Marie Schillinger. Chad A. Schultz. Allison Patricia Sievers, cum laude. Katie A. Sewell. Dakota Lee Shire. Jenna Lee Smith. Lauren Michelle Smith. Megan Elizabeth Smith, cum laude. Stratton Vaughn Smith. Taylor L. Spangle. Maurice Jamal Spells. Austin Allen Stewart. Cody Kenron Stewart. Megan Elizabeth Stouter. Sydney M. Stratford. Chloe Diane Stumpf. Keeper Sudith. Tabitha Anastasia Sutton. Taylor G. Zarinsky. Dagmali Meseret Tedeschi. Matt A. Tall, Jr. Amber Jean Tharp. Sierra N. Thomas. Nicholas P. Thomas. Sarah Elizabeth Thomas. Richard Brandon Tuppick. Nicole C. Trigg. Ariana Noli Valencia. Chase Howard Venable. Matthew Donald Viator. Nicholas Brian Walters. Ashton Taylor Warren. Brandon Scott Webb. Kyle A. Wiegold. Stephanie L. Wheeler, magna cum laude. Bailey D. Witten. Jeremy Cortland Williams, magna cum laude. Nicholas Isaac Wingate. Johannes Bahrain Wodajerma. Daniel Bradley Miles Ray. Anthony Avalon Wright Lake Jr. Nathan Carey Wynn.
Congratulations to all of you. Now Lori Zimmerman. I have to tell you, the best part of this job is mine because I get to stand here and see their faces, see your faces as you come across. Big smiles, a little worried sometimes, but it's pretty cool. Now Lori Zimmerman, representing the Manchester University Alumni Association, will welcome you, our newest graduates. Sarah Farnham, selected by a committee of campus leaders from a group of top students, will then speak on behalf of the senior class. First Lori, then Sarah.
Bear with me, I have an occupational hazard. As a member of Manchester University's Alumni Association Board of Directors, and on behalf of more than 15,000 alumni, I share this message with the class of 2017. We are here for you. Right now, you may not think to call on other Manchester graduates you've never met for assistance, but I have 2 reasons why you can and should. First, we have been where you are, and we know the challenges that come with starting a career. And second, we truly care about your success. You are equipped for what lies ahead. You are well-rounded individuals with a liberal arts education from an impressive university. You have developed strong values about work and service. You have ability and conviction. As you proceed from this ceremony today, you will be invited to take a small oak tree as our gift to you. Why an oak tree? Because it represents our aspirations for you. Oak trees are awe-inspiring. They create beauty for others and shade for comfort. People look up to them. Oak trees are strong. When storms take down other trees, the oak is almost always left standing. It's tough to break an oak tree. Oak trees put down deep roots, then just keep growing. When the tree needs more to survive, it just digs a little deeper. Like your oak tree, you will soar. Remember your roots, dig a little deeper, keep looking up. Grow toward the sky, and you will see there are no limits to where you can go. Welcome to the community of Manchester University graduates, and God bless you all.
Good afternoon. My name is Sarah Farnham, and I am honored to address you on behalf of the graduating class. The Dean of the College of Business, Professor Ogden, ends every Friday class session with the closing, "Be safe and make good decisions." Wise advice, as college is a time notorious for poor decision making. However, thus far, each of us has made enough good decisions to be here today wearing caps and gowns. One of these good decisions was selecting Manchester as our university. I made this decision later than most. I transferred to Manchester before my junior year, fearful that I would be too late to complete my degree in 4 years, to find a group of friends, and to find activities to get involved with. However, I quickly realized that Manchester is a special place. Not only can you leave your dorm 5 minutes before class starts and still be there early, but the students, faculty, and staff make it possible to pack enough knowledge, opportunities, and memories to fill 4 years at the very least, no matter how long you actually attended school here. On behalf of this year's graduating class, I would like to thank the friends and family who have loved us, supported us, and pushed us to be the best versions of ourselves. The professors who inspired us to be passionate about Shakespeare, philosophy, biology, and even accounting. And Manchester University for being our home away from home. Graduates, as you move forward onto the next chapters of your lives, I encourage you to simply keep making good decisions. Some will be hard, some easy, some big, some small. Each will be accompanied by uncertainty. I encourage you to trust your instincts, Believe in your decisions even if nobody else does, and face uncertainty without fear. Congratulations, class of 2017.
Thank you, Lori and Sarah. This now is the time for my charge to the graduating class, and this year it is very simple. Remember. Remember that you are a person of infinite worth. We are delighted that each of you chose Manchester because by being here, by being yourself, you made us a better place. Remember that learning from others allows you to become your best self. You learn from those who are graduating with you and others who aren't here. Some, like Tony, who would have graduated today, left us too soon, but touched our lives in ways that won't fade. Others you met in far-flung corners of the world and will never see again. Each had something to teach you. And remember that the world needs you. You are graduating as persons of ability and conviction, a rarity today, I guarantee you, and your skills and passions are needed more than you know. And remember, too, those who walked most closely with you while you were here. We asked several of you to reflect on special teachers and mentors who meant much to you at Manchester. Your words are much more eloquent than anything I can say, so I'll turn the close of the charge over to you. Let's show the video.
Dear Dr. Benson Oniji,
Professor Brock,
Professor Kong.
After I graduated high school, I noticed that every student I graduated with had that one teacher that turned it all around for him or her, or was the first person to believe in me. I never had that.
I never had that person until I met you.
I wanted to take the time to tell you how much I appreciate everything you've done for me over the last 4 years.
You've had a huge impact on my undergraduate life, both as a professor and as a friend.
For all you have done for me here at Manchester, thank you.
I am beyond grateful.
Your passion, dedication, and enthusiasm towards your work as a professor is what we will both miss the most.
Rest assured that the majority of lessons drawn from your courses were internalized and not memorized.
I want to express my deepest gratitude for believing in me. You've been a true friend, teacher, mentor, and an inspiration.
I believe my current and future success is at least part in due to your support and mentorship.
There were multiple moments where the stress of college and personal life was too much, and I thought about leaving Manchester.
But I would just stop by your office for a quick homework question, just to chat, and you somehow knew how I was feeling.
And always said the right thing to get me to think positively.
I want to thank you for providing clarity with my career aspirations.
I hope to make you proud.
I cannot believe graduation is so close.
It reminded me constantly that I had to treasure each and every day because it would go by fast, and it did.
I'll even miss the way your beautiful German accent utters Stratton von Smith.
Stratton von Smith. I don't have an accent, Stratton, okay?
I know there are many students who are thankful, just as I am,
for your impact on their experience at Manchester.
Manchester University boasts of their outstanding faculty for a reason.
The confidence you've placed in me has made me the woman I am today.
This is not to say goodbye, but rather to acknowledge our personal and academic growth.
Our students who have sat in almost every single class you've taught at Manchester.
When I came to college, I hoped that my professors would see me as a person, not just another number.
I chose Manchester because of its size. I stayed because of you.
You, like many others, are what make choosing Manchester worth it.
I look forward to the day that I can do the same for someone else, as you have done for me and many others.
I will also miss the chocolate in your room. Thank you for being my advisor,
my mentor, and my go-to here on campus.
Again, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I wouldn't have had my career breakthrough without you or your class.
I hope to always stay in touch and make you laugh from afar.
And I hope for all Manchester students to cross paths with the wonderful Beata Gilliard.
Thank you for always inspiring me. Thank you for always believing in me.
Thank you for giving me confidence in everything I do, and thank you for being a friend.
You are awesome.
You are also awesome.
Merci beaucoup, Madame Traxler. I am forever grateful.
With all the best wishes and love.
Thanks for everything, DK.
You're a rock star.
Thank you.
I never expected it from her. This is great. I thank you for this amazing tribute.
I certainly appreciate it, the kind words. I'm not sure I'm deserving of it, but you are a tremendous asset to Manchester University.
There will always be chocolate available whenever you come to see me, and I hope that we will have many, many more contacts over the next few years as you start off into your career.
There's no doubt in my mind that you will find the path that you want to take.
And I just deeply, deeply look forward to seeing the world that you're going to make a better place. Thank you.
Thank you for being a model for me, and I will miss you. Thank you.
Will you please stand and join us in singing our alma mater? Please stay standing if you are able. Following the benediction, we will ask you to be seated as the faculty and graduates recess. Renee Neer will now give the benediction.
Many of us may think of today as the ending of a life-changing chapter in our lives, but it is also a beginning. It is the beginning of our opportunity to show others the best versions of ourselves. It is the beginning of our opportunity to show the world how Manchester graduates individuals of ability and conviction. My favorite definition of the word commencement is the beginning of something. Today is the end of our education at Manchester, but is also the beginning of a new journey in our lives. For some, it means starting a full-time job. For others, it means continuing education in grad school. For others, it means a year of service. And others are still wondering what lies ahead. There are so many wonderful opportunities for us out there. And with the power of this amazing, challenging, and life-changing education, let us begin this next journey with a classic Disney quote. Anything is possible if you just believe.
Please be seated. Because of the rain and the resulting wet outside, we're changing our process post-commencement a little bit. Our graduates will be led into the auxiliary gymnasium behind us, and their families will wait here until that procession finishes. The faculty and platform party will process to the PERC office area upstairs. When the processional ends, family, friends, and faculty are invited to find their graduates in the auxiliary gym. Once you've connected, you can make your way to the Switzer Center, where we will have refreshments and an opportunity to pick up the trees that are distributed to you. And obviously, if the weather is now nice outside, you can ignore everything I just said.